it start? Oh, now it started. Sick. Missed all of that. But if my cousins were like, Luke, we'll teach you how to sell on Amazon 50 G's, I'd be like, hold on, what's going on here? You know what I'm saying? Of course, they would never do that. They're amazing people. But yeah, long rant. I know I skipped a bunch of questions. I'm going to scroll back up to get to everybody's question. But be careful. Be careful who you trust on the internet. I feel like I'm allowed to say this. There's a lot of people in this live who can vouch for this. You know, we got my buster friend here, FBA. Just kidding, he's not a buster. We got Slimmy up in here. We got James up in here. We got Lost up in here. Like a bunch of people who watch my lives all the time. Net up in here. I feel like I'm allowed to say this because of the fact that it's just I'm tried and true in the space. Anybody who just watches, go watch 20 of my videos. Go watch some of the pinned videos on my profile, and you will see that I'm not here trying to shill anything to you. I'm just making content about Amazon. I'm making content that helped me when I started selling on Amazon. And that was my North Star when I created content. And so, yeah, just be careful. I think that I actually block a lot of Amazon creators because it like actually bugs me. And again, I'm gonna get to everyone's question, I promise. But I block a lot of Amazon creators because it just bugs me watching their content because people are shills. I can name the Amazon creators that I would actually trust on one hand. That's it. And how many of them make content? Most of them are trying to shill, right? A very small percentage of them are actually solid. Name them: myself, Brandon Young, Vanguard FBA, my boy Jason, Economic Side Hustle. He gets a lot of hate online, but I do think that he provides value. That's my boy. Economic Side Hustle. And that's it. That's literally it. Maybe there's some other good ones. There's other ones that I've watched on YT historically that I think are solid. But when I'm talking like the TikTok creators, those are the ones that I would trust. I know I skipped a lot of questions. I hope everybody who asked questions is still in here. I'll go into them. Obviously, that was really great for engagement. Once we start talking about the more analytical stuff, I'm sure the engagement will drop. But that's what we do. We don't care about the viewers. We just give value. So let's go back. Best tips and criteria for launching well on FBA. All right, so we'll go over the best tips, and then we'll go over the best criteria, and then we'll go over the best tips. So the best criteria, oh my goodness, I skipped so many questions. I'm sorry, guys. The best criteria: a product that has the potential to do 10K a month, a product where the total revenue in the market is at least 200K, a product where the average price is at least $30, a product where the advertising cost per click is no more than $1.50. This is also going to be relative to your price. A product that you can stand out and differentiate from the competition. We don't want to click copy and paste on what everybody else is doing. We want to add value into the market that we're launching in. A product that's not seasonal, because I want a product that's going to sell year round. A product that has strong search volume across all the main keywords. And you must be able to achieve 30% profit margins after FBA fees, cost of goods, and shipping. What is business price? It's for business customers, people who have a business account on Amazon. You can offer them discounts or tier discounts, like buy 5, get this % off, buy 10, get this % off. Do you recommend any automated PPC software as ones where I can set my own rules for optimization? No, I don't, because the problem with this The only thing that I would ever recommend is bulk uploads, and it's not necessarily like an automation software. You can create some rules within it. But the problem with PPC is that all rules don't apply to every campaign. If you're like, okay, if ACOS exceeds this number, then drop bids by this percentage. But what if you have a rank campaign and that rank, because I have a rank campaign that's like a 50-60% ACOS, but it drives organic rank and we have a really good conversion rate on it, but we bid really aggressively because it's top of search placement. So it drives organic rank, which helps my organic rank increase, which overall helps bring my total advertising cost of sale down. If I turn that campaign off, then I start to lose ranking. So is that high ACOS, it's kind of something that you eat because it actually helps your profitability long term. What up, Georgios? What up, Slimmy? Do you use a VA? I have a couple VAs, but I don't use them to like fully operate the business. Like, they're for like inventory management or creating shipments or things like that. Like, I don't have VAs to run my ads for me or anything like that. Hannah and Banana, that rhymes. Both of you, thank you so much for the follow, and everybody who's in the live right now. Nick, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. My guy, what up? What up, Kurt? Good to see you, brother. We're doing good, man. 15K to start FBA on US marketplace is good. That's more than enough. I think that realistically 3 to 6K is what you need because you want to start with a test run order. Definitely will just want to do it the right way successfully for the long term. Yeah, man. I think starting on your own is gonna be the move. Don't go paying somebody 100 G's to start this. That's highway robbery, bro. It's literally highway robbery. If Luke gives you advice, you better soak it all in. I appreciate that, Slimmy Geek. Thank you so much for the follow. I've been here for a minute now, learned a lot. I love that, man. That's why I do these lives. How do I start, fam? I have a notebook ready. Let's go. Guys, I made it a new pinned video on my profile. I have a free course on TikTok. Free course. So if you go to the pinned video, it's Amazon FBA full free course part 1, and you'll be able to see the full playlist there, right? Go watch that. Like, go start with that and then go to my YT videos, go to my other TikTok videos. I have tabs on my profile on PPC ads, on product research. If everybody wants, I'll make more tabs on like manufacturing. I'll make some for like keyword research. I can do other things. Do you need to use Shopify for Amazon? No. What's the max you should have in the yours/theirs image? I don't think it matters. I'm assuming you mean like max points. I don't think it matters. Help protect others. Yeah, no doubt about it, man. Thank God for this. Phew, timing. Yeah, man. I'm super, I don't even care that we spent 10-15 minutes on that. I'm super stoked that you came into the live and hopefully avoided a huge financial burden, man. Do you build that strategy? I talk about that strategy, and I've built my own strategy, Charleston. So like along the years, I've been doing Amazon. I'm 28 days away from 7 years selling on Amazon. So throughout that time period, I've built up that strategy and, kind of formulated it into what it is today. What do you think about Seller Central Boys? I know him through the internet. I've done debates with him. Him and I disagree on a lot of things. I don't know the guy, but yeah, we do different business models. I have to jump off, but we'll be in touch, brother. Appreciate it, of course. Luke, your cousins and noob. Luke, our cousin. Luke's our cousin and noob is uncle. We won't even talk about that. Yeah, I agree. Hi, my name is. We're going to stay on topic. You strictly do private label? Yes. I heard Luke Bosch, the guy's legit. I appreciate that, Kurt, man. I try to be. All you have in this life is your name, right? I mean, your family and stuff like that. But your name, Like you only get one shot with your name. As soon as that goes, you lose credibility, and I won't do anything to ever lose my credibility. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up to all the questions. If you take the approach of watching free videos, you have to avoid analysis paralysis. I agree with that. You also shouldn't get feedback or inputs from like 20 different people. Cuz like I remember when I was starting, I had my cousins and then I had, all these other YT videos that I would watch, and everybody has different strategies. You kind of have to find like 1 to 3 people and go with that, trusted people. Because I remember like in my early days, I'd watch a video and I would completely switch my strategy, and then I'd watch another video and I'd completely switch my strategy, and that's not very helpful. It's good to test different things, but like to completely like rearrange your strategy and all of this stuff, I don't think that that's ideal by any means. Evergreen demand. Yes, you want something that has evergreen demand, not seasonal, not that's going to come in ebbs and flows. NZ, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. Once approved for brand. I don't do arbitrage or wholesale, Umar. I sell my own products on Amazon, my friend. Got you. How do you identify if a keyword is supposed to be used for rank? Is it relevant to your product? Right? Coffee mug. Relevant to my product. Insulated coffee mug. Relative to my product. Coffee mug with lid. Relevant to my product. No, this isn't my product. I'm just using it as an example. Claudia, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate you. Do I have to know what I want to sell, or do you help to find items for private label? You should always understand. I made a video about this. You should always understand what to look for. So like even somebody who did like a product selection with me, right? I still think that it's better to understand what a good criteria is, because it teaches you best practices. So if like there's people out there who want to like automate everything, like I'm going to hire someone for my listing, I'm going to hire someone for my ads, I'm going to hire someone to pick my product, right? But the problem with this, if you don't fully understand it, is you don't know if somebody's giving you a garbage listing or setting up your campaigns or running terrible campaigns. It's always important. Like I don't set up my own listings anymore, but I understand Amazon SEO very well. So if somebody gives me a listing, like my team gives me a listing, and I'm like, hey guys, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. We don't get it wrong. I'm just using it as an example. I'm able to recognize that. But if I knew nothing about SEO, they just give me a title. I'm like, this looks great. The bullet points look great. Everything looks good. So I think it's always important to understand that. Do we do all the basic stuff with data? Can we do all the basic stuff with the Data Dive starter plan? Yes, you can. How you feeling, bro? Still sick as a dog. Energy is way up today, which is good. Hopefully, God willing, by Friday I feel better, because I'm traveling on Friday. But yeah, energy is there, which is good. Thank God. So 4M in sales equals 4M's in cash. No. 4M's in sales is top line revenue. Top line revenue is sales, but that doesn't deduct your product cost. That doesn't deduct your shipping. That doesn't deduct your ad cost. That doesn't deduct your FBA fees. That doesn't deduct your returns. Once you deduct all of that, that would be your net profit pre-tax, and that would be the cash. With 15K, what is the revenue max competitors can make me what is the revenue max competitors can make for me to still be able to compete with them? I don't necessarily look at revenue max. What I do look at is average reviews. It shows how established a market is. So actually today, if you guys go on my TikTok page, My second to last video, I posted something, what a bad product market looks like on Amazon. The revenue looks great in that market, but because it's such an overly established product, it doesn't make sense for a new seller, especially with low capital, especially with no experience on Amazon, to go in and enter that market. If my item is a gift item that spikes during Q4, would it still count as evergreen or as seasonal? It depends. So let's use toys as an example. Toys are going to spike in Q4. But does that mean that it's not evergreen? No, toys can sell, depending on the toy, can sell year round. Now, let's say that you have something like a water toy, like a splash pad. A splash pad I would consider not evergreen, because you're going to peak in summer, and then you'll maybe peak during Christmas because of gift giving. But then what happens, especially during the colder months, September, or actually October, or September, October, November, January, February, March, right? That's half of the year where you may see a very low trend in sales. That's not ideal. Let's use another example. What's another giftable product off the top of my head? A gift basket. Actually, no, let's use like a Mother's Day product. A Mother's Day product is obviously going to peak during Mother's Day. But then after that, you're kind of left with your tail between your legs, so not necessarily ideal. The bid adjustment vid you made yesterday was gold. Are you talking about the search query performance report, or are you talking about the one where I talk about how to increase your sales? Or are you talking about yesterday's live? FB, thank you for sharing the live, bro. When do you recommend continuing product research since Q4 messes with the analysis? Like January? Yeah, Q4. Like one of my students sent me a product, and I've actually seen this product before, so I do think it's a pretty solid product, but it was a toy product. And I told him, because my students have unlimited product validations with me, they can just message me whenever, send me the data. And I told him, I was like, the numbers look good, man, but just keep in mind that the revenue numbers are inflated right now because we're literally in the peak of this product. Like, this product will not do better any other month other than December. Not saying it won't do good in other months, but this is the max. Man, it's usually 4x your budget if the top seller is doing over 60K in your case. Wouldn't it be worth it? So I don't agree with that. Let me pull up. I'm not gonna show you guys, but I'll read the data for you. Let me show you, or let me read off the data for you for the most recent product that I launched on Amazon. Give me a sec for it to load. So we launched this product a few months ago. We're out of stock. Our shipment is literally on the way to FBA. Very unfortunate that we're missing Q4, because this product would rip in Q4. I actually think we would have done 100K on this product variation alone. It is what it is. Okay, so average revenue, remember this is Q4 numbers, so they're inflated, is 113K. Average price is $42. We're selling it for $49.99. Search volume is over 20,000. Total revenue on page one is 4.9 million. That means the revenue for all the sellers on page one. And when I look at the top competitor, we can look at parent level revenue and ASIN level revenue. The top, this one's irrelevant. Let's remove this one really quickly. Hold on. Sorry, I rest my phone against my computer screen, so sometimes I have to move it around. Okay, so the top competitor does $750,000 with parent level revenue. With ASIN level revenue, they do $250,000 on one ASIN. Okay. We launched this product, 300 units for, I believe, cost of goods and shipping. I'll even include the lab test because we had to get a compliance test done for this one. So cost of good, I made a video about this. So off the top of my head, I don't fully remember. Shipping was $900 for the 300 units, $904. Cost of goods was 33. Actually, I'll just do the math because I know how much I got it per unit. It was, the first order was like 1120 times 300. So $3,360. And then we paid $400, which was a one-time fee for the lab test. So let's, or actually it was 350. I was just rounding up. So let's do, oh, I just messed up. I did time. So what did we say? 3360 plus 350 plus 900. So $4,600 we launched that product for, and we did really good. We were profitable on the very first order. We ran out of stock. Product did really good. We were actually planning on injecting more because there's two sides of it. Like, you either don't have the capital and you have to have a slower start, but we have the capital. We just wanted to get proof of concept. So we were going to place 1,000-unit order. We did place 1,000-unit order. The issue was we had a bonus item that was like a stock bonus item for the product. We wanted to bring our costs down a little bit, and we wanted to bring down our dimensions because it's a big bonus item. And so because we're ordering 1,000 units, we were able to customize the bonus item. The original bonus item was a stock bonus item. And so what happened was we could have placed the reorder back in like October, early October, maybe even before that, but they had to do the customization for the product. So we didn't place our order until like mid-November. Product production time was 2 weeks for the 1,000 units. Then we got an inspection, and then the products literally shipped out on Saturday, last Saturday. Hence why we are unfortunately missing Q4. Average ROI, what's the minimum ROI? I think that 100 is great. I think 50 is okay. I really base it on my profit margin more so than ROI. So I want to be at a 30% profit margin after FBA fees, cost of goods, and shipping on my very first order. With private label product, 25% minimum ROI, I think that's a little bit low. Remember, James, ROI and profit margin are different. ROI means if I put in like if you're 25% ROI and you put in $1,000, you only make $250 in net. Whereas with profit margin, let's say that your product is $30, you're making $10 a unit, give or take. So I'm basing it more on my profit margin. I would say 50% ROI is the minimum. 100% is where you should aim for. It's too low. It's not too low for the cash flow. No, I think 25% is a bit low, but he might have thought we were talking about profit margin, because remember, profit margin and ROI are calculated differently. What category is this item in? It is in the toy category. That's why it would have ripped during Q4, bro. Like, especially because of the way we launched the product. We had a really, really good offer. So that's why it did so well. That's why we went quote unquote all in on the product. Started with 300 units. Now we're going 1,000. Once we sell out of this 1,000, we'll probably do something like 22,000 to 2,500 for our next order, which will be pretty sweet. And it is what it is. Like, yes, it sucks that we missed Q4, but now we're gearing up for next Q4. I know that's literally a year away, but sorry for my English. I'm French. Brother, I didn't even notice. Your English is just fine. The beauty of private label, you could potentially get 30 to 50% profit margins. Yes, but I don't think like 50% is not a standard, to be honest with you. Um, Most people, if we're being realistic, will not achieve 30 or 50% profit margins. Because remember, when I'm calculating my profit margins in the beginning, this is pre-ads. Now, the cool thing about private label is because you don't need a warehouse, you don't need too much overhead cost. You're really it's a cash intensive business, but that cash is going towards inventory. One VA, you go with, you go find somebody for $5 an hour, like it's not going to eat your budget away. Now, the reason 50% is harder to achieve for a lot of people is because the 30% is pre-ads. Now you account for ads, but the first order, you're just trying to get proof of concept. As you scale and get established on private label, you have the potential of increasing your profit margin, because as you order more inventory, especially the way that I do Amazon, is when I order 100 to 300 units, that is going to be the most that I pay for the product in that product's history. Remember how I said we got that initial product for those initial 300 units for 1120? Might have been actually like 1130. I can double check. Well, we're ordering 1,000 units, and we brought it down to $10 a unit. We were really haggling trying to get it lower, but we settled with 10. On top of that, because we made our product packaging smaller, our FBA fees will actually drop a little bit. So we're saving money on cost of goods. We're saving money on our FBA fees. And then on top of that, because we're ordering more units, our volumetric weight went down, or excuse me, didn't go down. Our volumetric weight, we took up more of a shipping container. So we were actually able to get a lower shipping rate. So our initial shipping rate was $3 a unit. And now this new shipping rate came down to about $2 a unit. Bro, I'm happy with 35 to 40% margins. Those are great margins, man. I think everybody should be happy with it. Is this FBA? Yes, sir, it is. I respect how consistent you are with your lives. I hope the best for you, bro. I think I know what I said. I'm sorry for making assumptions. It's all good, bro. I don't really hold grudges, so we're all good, bro. Like I said, if I was really offended or didn't had an issue with you, you wouldn't be seeing this live right now. So we're good, man. How big is your team? I have business partners in a couple of the accounts, and then I have I have a couple of VAs, but the VAs are not really like they're not necessary per se. And then I have a project manager, but he kind of helps with all of my businesses, not just my Amazon businesses. What up, Marty? Mark, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you, brother. Huevo was good, my guy. Hope everybody is doing good. We are getting it with this live. We went on a whole 10-minute rant some of y'all missed. With 15K budget maximum, will I need to add more money, or will the business be self-sufficient? It can be, because you're not going to spend that full 15K to get started. Like I said, 3 to 6K to get started. Now, there's two approaches. You have the slower approach, because Amazon does have something called account level reserves, where they're going to hold some of your funds. And that's to account for things like FBA fees, as well as like ads or returns. It's still your money, but Amazon, that's a whole nother story. Amazon's gotten, screwed over themselves. So they started to be a little strict about that. But let's say you start with 5K, right? All in. Well, then you could go the slow approach, waiting for those payouts, assuming you're profitable or even break even, and then use that money to go place a reorder. Or if you found yourself a winner, then you could always inject the spare capital that you have into it, but that's after you get proof of concept. So there's different approaches. Doing some product research right now. Nice. Find any hitters yet? What's your opinion on looking at the US market and then finding a product with proven market fit, then bringing it over to the UK? I think you do product research for the market that you're launching in. So if you look at the US numbers and it's good, I'm guessing it would be good in the UK because it's a smaller market. But that being said, you should be looking at the UK market. Unless you're saying like finding a product that's good in the US, launching in the US, and then expanding it to other markets, that I think is okay. What's your opinion on, I answered that. How long would it take to get the ground running, like as a side hustle and scale up? 3 to 6 months to actually launch the product, and then you want anywhere from 3 to 5 reorders on a successful product before you start taking money out of the business. I've described it like this before. If I'm planting an orange tree, I use a lot of these analogies. Sorry if it's annoying. But if I'm planting an orange tree, I water it and it sprouts up to a little green sprout. And I'm like, oh, let me pluck it. Now I have oranges. Well, no, you don't. You didn't really yield any fruit. And like, yes, you saw growth, but you plucked it before you could even get it to a point where it was a full blown tree. Amazon is the same way. So if as soon as you make some money, you start taking that money and paying your rent and going out to nice dinners and stuff like that, well, now you don't have the capital to reinvest, to continue to water the plant, to nurture the plant. But instead, if you little sprout and then you water it and you give it sunshine and you care for it, at some point it grows into a full-blown tree that is able to be self-sustaining, where you can go and pick oranges from it, or AKA go take capital from it. That's how I look at it. Do you use meta ads? Not for my Amazon business. Do I have to buy from wholesale distributor for FBA? If you're doing wholesale, yes. I don't do wholesale. I don't do arbitrage. I sell my own brands and products on Amazon. Do we need an LLC to start? No, you can start as a sole proprietor. That's actually how I started. Now, I like the LLC route. The only reason I started as a sole proprietor is because I was broke as a joke, and I literally spent all of the money. Don't recommend this. I literally spent all of the money that I had to start my Amazon business. I had no money for a trademark. I had no money for an LLC. I literally emptied my bank account. I have a picture actually, because it was all cash. Um, yeah, I have a picture, me going to the bank to start my business bank account, or my bank account for the sorry, this was in my personal account. So I have going to deposit all the money that I had inside of my account. And I remember, like, I'm there at the bank and I was like, do you guys have a restroom I could use? They're like, yeah, sure. I go to the bank. I have a stack of $4,900 and I, I flex like I'm rich. I take a picture of it, post it on my Snapchat story. I still have that picture. I'll maybe make another video. I've made a video about it, but that was 500 plus videos out there. Didn't invest in the S&P, he invested in the S and me. Yes, sir, you already know the vibes. Could we sell already know brands? Yes, you can. That's not the approach that I like. That's not the approach that I recommend. I'm also biased. Um, I think it's better to create a business that you have true equity in, one that you actually can go on to sell one day, one that you own the IP for. You don't own the products per se, unless you have a patent, but I don't necessarily think you have to go that route. But like if I create Luke's Toys, right? And then I brand these products as Luke's Toys, that's the IP that I own, assuming that I own the trademark. I think that's better. You have more control over everything. Nobody sells on your listing. You are, on average, have higher margins. It's more evergreen. I found a seller that has 21 reviews doing 30K a month. You shouldn't base a product on one seller, Huevo. You should base a market that you want to go into on the entire market, specifically page one, because that's where you want to end up being. That's kind of like your goal. So like I can find 20 markets where there's one seller with low reviews and they're doing really good. But does that mean that the market as a whole is a good market? How do we start? Is there a company that takes a percentage and does the work if we invest? I'm sure there are, but I wouldn't recommend any single one of them. I recommend bootstrapping it and learning the game and not giving away a piece of your equity and just learning how to start. What's the longest lasting product you've launched in terms of how long it was profitable? 6 years. it would be 7, but I don't own that brand anymore. 6 years. This 5 years. Tell about Amazon insurance, 10K plus months. Once you hit 10K, Amazon recommends you to get insurance. Technically, there's some people that I know who don't have it, but liability insurance for your business is very cheap. And you could get $1 million policy for less than $100 a month. And I think it's very much worth it. The key to longevity in a private label product slash family, just good market numbers and adding value into the market. There's been scenarios where like people have launched in products and the ad cost is not sustainable, but I think that really falls into their conversion rate, because I've seen people who have really high cost per clicks but they have a really good conversion rate. But the key to longevity is adding value into the market. I think Amazon evolves every single year. I'm actually doing a lesson with my students tomorrow on my predictions for Amazon in 2026. One of those things, and it's something that I always talk about, is differentiation. What is differentiation? Adding value into the market. Can you give us an example? Would you search women beauty products or kitchen tools? Can I give you an example of what? But yes, you can look up generic products, like generic categories, and then it's the Amazon search method. I have videos on this. So search something like home decor, go through, look for a product that catches your eye, find that product, boom, go search the main keyword, and then look at the market as a whole. What's the usual profit margins for FBA? There's different business models on FBA. Average profit margin for private label, 25 to 30%. Average profit margin for wholesale, 10%. Average profit margin for arbitrage, about 15%. My question doesn't appear. Try to word it differently, Moz. Sometimes Amazon does. I mean, not Amazon. Sometimes TikTok does this. Why? I have no idea. But sometimes they'll just like flag comments, and I don't even see them. They don't appear for me either. Do you recommend pet supplies category? I think there's good products in every category. I think there's bad products in every category, so it would depend. Have I seen good pet products? Yes, I have a list of some good ones. How was it doing Amazon during COVID? It was an interesting time, man. I remember when everything first started shutting down, there was like a 2-week period where you kind of saw this drop because it was like a lot of fear in the market. COVID was my best year selling on Amazon, not in terms of revenue or profit numbers, but in terms of percentage growth. I have never seen that big of a percentage growth across products and accounts than I did during that time. It was of course very tragic. People were sick. I'm not saying it was a good time by any means. I didn't enjoy it, but in terms of like business, it was on the up and up. Does capitalizing on bad reviews of competitors count as a good differentiator strategy? It depends on what the bad reviews are. Yes and no. If competitors' bad reviews talk about, oh, the quality wasn't good, or this screw was loose, or the bolt wasn't secure, or whatever, that's just improving the quality. You should always strive to improve the quality on a product, no matter what. That's the standard. It's like if I used this example yesterday. If you're opening up a burger shop, like, are you going to use the cheapest ingredients and just throw something out there? No, you want to go and create the best burger, right? Quality ingredients, good taste, all of these things. That's just the standard. Differentiation is not being the same as everybody else. So like, let's use a marker, for example. If not a good product, I'm just using it as an example, but like if people say like, oh, it's really it's not bold, it fades really easily. Well, you making your marker not fade easily is not a differentiator. It's just the standard of what you should do when launching a product. What do you recommend quantity of a product I'm selling for beginners should be? 100 to 300 units, no more than 300 units. Got to drop off. Feel better, man. Glad to see the energy up today. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Always good to have you in the live, my guy. And yes, the energy is still sick, but The energy is up today, which is hopefully a good sign. I've been sick as a dog. Tips for creating a TT Amazon listing. Are you talking about a TikTok? So you're not creating an Amazon listing on TikTok. What can you clarify on that, James? Just to kind of top tier. Okay, got it. I would not have guessed that. Yeah, I actually, let me see. I think I made a video. Maybe I didn't post it yet. No, I don't think I posted it yet. I have some videos on YT and TikTok, London lingo. No worries, bro. I have another video that I'll post soon, which is why everybody should be watching and following the content because I post a lot of gems. But few things. Number one, your main image should catch the customer's eye. It should have a unique element to it. All right. If it looks like everybody else's main image, I don't think that's a good main image. So that's number one. Number two, infographics. People are like, what about lifestyle images? Use lifestyle images, but make them into an infographic, right? That would be another big thing. What up, Wasim in the YT live? So the customer should know everything about your product just by looking at your images. High quality. There's certain images that I think every listing should have, dimensions, ours versus theirs, like a comparison chart. Next thing, title. Your title should be A, SEO optimized, B, easily readable, and C, have your main keywords in it. Same thing with bullet points. I think bullet points need to be SEO optimized. It's a great opportunity for you to index on other keywords and structure your bullet points in a good way. A little tip, Amazon technically blocked this, but sometimes you can get it through. Have emojis in your listing, not like a bunch, but like at the beginning, right? One emoji in the beginning. I've always done that. Sometimes Amazon will suppress it, but sometimes it kind of gets through the algorithm. Number four. I do recommend being brand registered so that you can have A+ content. A+ content, according to Amazon, can help increase your conversion rate by 3 to 10%. Number five, adding a video on your listing. I think this is becoming more and more important as time goes on. I know that even when I know the game of Amazon, and when I shop on Amazon, I like to see videos on the listing, especially for certain products. Okay. And then for SEO purposes, even if you have A+ content, still having a word description. Now the customer won't be able to see that, but that's still going to help you with SEO purposes. And then the last thing would be I would have a brand story, which is a version. It's not A+ content, but it's an A+ content module. This is just going to take up more space on your detail page. The longer somebody spends on your detail page, the more likely they are to convert on your product. Can I hire for videos? Yes, I don't make the videos myself. You could also use UGC videos. Those have historically performed pretty well for people too. Thanks for the sauce. Of course, James, that's what we're about here, brother. You already know the vibes. Give the people value. Also, y'all, make sure you show some love to my last few videos. I posted some gems today. Last video, how to increase your sales on Amazon without spending more on PPC. Second to last video, what a bad product market looks like on Amazon. And third to last video, why I failed selling products on Amazon even though my first product was successful. Make sure y'all go show those some love. I put out all this free content, do these lives. I don't charge a fee for it. All I ask is that you support. I appreciate everyone who's always up in the live supporting, everybody who likes my videos and stuff like that. And the more you like the videos, the more you'll see my videos pop up when I post them, which is good because you won't miss some of the free sauce that I give. Because I do post so much content that sometimes it can get a little hard to keep up with everything. I post 4 videos a day. So delicious. Thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate you and everybody in the live. Also, if you're not following the page, make sure you hit that follow button because we do these lives every day, Monday through Saturday. This Saturday, no. And we post 4 videos a day. We will be taking a little break from lives. Yeah, so I probably won't be live this Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then we'll be back on live Monday the 15th. Maybe you'll catch some one-off lives, but definitely not like hour-long lives like we do. I am going away, and I'm gonna go recharge and get energized on this trip, and go enjoy life. Have you gone through the process of transparency labels? Yes, I have. Skiing? Nah, man, I don't know how to ski or snowboard. I mean, I'm sure I can understand the basics, but I never went, which is unfortunate. I'm going to this year, God willing. But no, I'm actually the complete opposite. I'm going somewhere nice and sunny. I never say where I'm going until I've already left that place. So you guys will see all the travel videos on Luke Basha Travels once I get back. Thoughts on mouse traps? No, I don't think that's a good product, bro. Versace, you just gotta watch my product criteria video, man. Watch that video, get a product research software. If a product doesn't meet that criteria, me personally, I wouldn't launch it. It's fairly simple to sign up for the transparency program, Burr. There is a waiting period, but it's fairly simple. I forget the exact URL, how to do it, but if you just look up Amazon Transparency online, it'll pop up an official Amazon site for you to go through that process. Is Helium 10 your favorite tool? I like Helium 10 for product research. After that, I don't like Helium 10. I think that Data Dive is a far superior tool. All samples have been found. Let's go, sheep. That's a W, man. That's a huge W. If I study a niche by looking only my first 15 organic sellers with Helium 10, is that good? Nah, man. Go watch my video on how to analyze a product. Like I said, on my TikTok page, I have tabs on my profile. So here are all the tabs. We have Mentorship Student Wins. We have AMZ Free Course A to Z. We have PPC ads, and then we have product research, and then the 0 to 1 mil series. Just go watch those. Data dive, use cases, finding gaps in the market, differentiation, keyword research, understanding how to like look at certain data, especially when you're running ads and stuff like that. And I have videos on that as well, James. But on that note, everybody, it's been a great live. I appreciate everybody. Shameless plug. I've been given an hour of straight value, but I have to do the shameless plug. I'm sorry. No, it's haram for some people. But if y'all want direct access to me, AMZ Masterclass in the TikTok bio, you guys can see everything. This part always takes a minute to load. I don't know why. Maybe refresh, Buster. I got to get that fixed. There we go. You guys can see everything that is in the videos on your TikTok. Yes, and my YT channel. YT, same as my TikTok, Luke Basha. You guys can see everything that I offer in the program. You'd click, yes, I want to apply. Go through this very quick questionnaire right here, and then you'll be prompted to book a call with my onboarding team if you qualify for the program. Make sure you go show some love to my last few videos. Check out the AMZ Masterclass in the TikTok bio. God bless you all. I hope everybody has a blessed rest of their day and night, and I will see y'all soon.